21st of February. Martin Fowler Scrum. Happy to see Niwoke here, Kevin, Lucy, Musa, and Getty is joining soon, and me, Sigu, on this particular Scrum. I'm happy to see you guys. So let's give our reports. We can start with Niwoke. You're here first. Kindly give us a report.
So I just picked an issue just now. So I'm working on the issue. Just a simple issue to remove a module that's not being used in local support. So yeah.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I said I just picked a story on Pivotal Tracker.
Oh, okay, so, okay, right.
Yeah, it's just to remove a module that's not being used in local support.
Okay, all right, the module not being used in the local support. Yeah, I remember that. So, whatever we were talking about before, the issue created. Have you worked on that already?
You said, yeah. I put a link to the merge pool now. That thread.
Okay. Oh, it's already merged in. Let's see. Let me see. Let me just have a look at it quickly. Oh, wow. Okay. It's already merged in, I guess, by Nick. Yes, Nick merged that in. So just to avoid further confusion in the future, we can, let me show you. Are you comfortable using Pivotal Tracker? Are you comfortable with using Pivotal Tracker? Yeah.
I can find my way around it. I've used it like a long time ago. But I can.
Okay. So let me just show you. Can you hold on to the end of the Scrum? I show you something about the Pivotal Tracker, just to lessen the confusion that can arise.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move over to just in order in which you seated. Lucy, Mise. Work. Lucy, we can't hear you. You're muted. You're muted. You can't hear you.
Hello.
Okay. Yes. Go
on. Today, me and the group, Sigu, Kevin, Musa, and Getty, we were working on projects. Eula. Yes, I think that's the name, Project Eula, and we are learning how to create tests using Aspect. And then from then, I've been working on how to create RESTful API with Flask. Yeah, that's it for me. For now, I don't have any blockers except time. So that's it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Lucy. So talking about the Project Eula, anyone who doesn't know about it, it's actually it has a couple of questions, mostly mathematical approach that you try to solve in your favorite programming language. It's not it's not language specific. So you're given a problem, think about it, give it solutions as you wish. Over to Getty.
Hi guys.
Yeah.
So of late, I've been learning how to write tests, mostly Cucumber tests, and that's what I'm working on currently. Cucumber and a bit of RSpec and Capybara. That's where I am at right now. So yeah, with time, I think I'll get better at tests. Thanks.
Okay, nice. Thanks for your report. Any block on your side?
So far, nothing. I'm good.
Okay, you're good. All right. Over to Kevin, maybe. Yeah, Kevin.
Hey. Okay. So today we did some mob session in Ruby. Then we did some test-driven development. We saw how we could first write the test, then the program later. Then we started working with Musa on the issue where we were supposed to use one gem between the data and picker and the date picker. So we are trying to make use of the data and picker since it does both the picking of the date and time. Yeah, I think that's for it. No block at the moment.
Okay, so you already started on that other issue. Okay. Have you started it physically on the pivotal tracker? Have you clicked on start on the pivotal tracker?
Oh, not yet.
Yeah, so you need to do that so that you can keep track of the update.
Okay.
All right. Also, so just in case you're hearing an echo, it's because we're in the same room, so it might be echoing when we have both microphones on. I can see Stella's joined us, but let's move over to Musa. Moses, give us a report.
Okay, hi guys. I think the issue Sig is talking about, I never saw the button for clicking start because he already assigned us to the issue, me and Kevin, so there was no button for clicking the start. Actually, I think the group has given the detail, everything that we've been doing since morning up to this moment. And I just have one problem with the bootstrap model in a project which I'm doing. And I'm requesting anyone who can help me with that. Actually put where to put the files to reveal. That's my main problem. So I'm requesting anyone in the group who can help me in that. Maybe after the Scrum, I'll appreciate. That's my report.
Okay, thank you. About that, if you check on the ice box, the issue that you assigned, you and Kevin, you'll see that if you just a minute. So if you look at that particular issue, then if you expand on that, you have the story type, the points, which are not estimated. We don't normally estimate chores. Then we have an option to start this particular story, the state. So once you start working on a story, you can click on start, okay? So that other people know that you're currently working on that particular story. This, the requester is whoever created the story. The owners is who is currently working on this particular story, okay? So we'll talk more about this after the Scrum. Now, the other block about the date time picker, that's a block I had on the gem.
Not really the bootstrap model.
Oh, bootstrap model. Okay. So you can have a look at that maybe tomorrow morning.
Is okay.
Okay. All right. So Stella joined us. Stella, do you have something to report?
Too much background music. I can't talk.
Okay, no problem. You're allowed to listen in to the other reports. So something important that everyone else forgot to talk about, I think it's today we have a Ruby meetup in less than an hour being organized by Getty and Kevin. We're expecting a few extra people where we are. So on to my report. Since morning, I worked on the mob session, mobbing with the crew. We call ourselves the unofficial name. I don't know if they... Okay, we'll make it official and let everyone know about our name. So it's me, Musa, aka Moses. We have Kevin, aka Controller. We have Getty and Lucy Mise. We usually work together. That's why most of the time when you join the Scrum, you'll find us in this particular Scrum, mostly the Martin Fowler Scrum. Okay, so we worked in the morning. We were doing a mob session on. We started by doing a mob session on the Ruby book, well-grounded Rubyist. After that, we did some test-driven development in Ruby. using a problem on the project ULA, the first problem on the project ULA. So we used RSpec for that one, set up RSpec, and did a fully test-driven development for that. Then after that, I started, I did some pull request reviews and cleaned up the pull requests that are there. What else did I do? Oh, wow. After that, I remember I started looking around and trying to play around with the Azure box that we have at Agile Ventures, trying to set up Jitsi so that we can use Jitsi for video calls. This has been a problem for quite a while, but today it automatically worked. After following the process once again, everything worked fine. And we have a problem on Firefox. It's not working on Firefox. So it's probably a compatibility issue with the project itself. So anyways, it's working. You can play around with it. Okay, I'll give you guys the link later on. That's my report. Blockers, none so far. Okay, unless any person has any other thing to add on that. I guess none. So it's officially the end of the Scrum. Now we can go to any. Okay, I need to explain something to you about the pivotal tracker. Anyone who is interested can listen in. Okay. All right. Here you go. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Any okay? All right.
Yeah.
So, okay. So if you look at the issue you created, where is that? The refactor issue. Did it just move? Refactor. Okay, it was somewhere here. Did you move it?
Yeah, I think I finished it also.
Oh, you finished it. So every time you start on an issue, let's say like this one. Okay, let's say someone opened up this issue. If you open up such an issue, then it has a story type. A story type can be in any of these states. It can be a feature, a bug, a chore, or a release. A feature is something that's adding a functionality to the website or to the web application. A bug is anything behaving in a different way from what you expect. A chore is what a developer does to make the code better and not necessarily affecting the client. Okay, so in our case, in this case, when you're doing any refactor, it's normally a chore. It's not a feature because it is not adding functionality to the website. So the story that we had, let me see. It was somewhere here. Here you are. This one.
Okay.
Yeah, this one. So it's a chore, and we mostly don't vote on chores. Okay. Then it's you who started it. It's you who did it. And whenever you start working on a story, just click on start so that it moves from the icebox to the current. Yeah, to the current. Then let me check on these. Yes, you need to do the link. This is your guess. Yeah. So when you create the story, if you read on the contribution guides, here it is. I can see Nick referenced it to you. If you read on the contribution guides, copy link location, let me send it on the chat. Yeah, I have sent that on the chat. If you read on that, then it will show you how you should write the message here. You should at least have the link to that particular story right here. Now, the moment this is merged in, then you should come and accept that story or deliver the story. So, for example, looking at this story, the latest version for Node fails. Okay, it went through the following stages. Let me just start with unstarted. Okay. Once it's from unstarted, I start that particular story. When I'm done with the story and I have the pull request open, I'm waiting for it to be merged. I finish it up.
Okay.
Okay. Once it's merged in, then I can deliver.
All right.
Once it's merged in, I can deliver. Now, it's changed its state to delivered. A delivered story can either be accepted or rejected, and it is the client who accepts or rejects stories for features or bugs. Okay, so during the client meeting, the client will go through that story and they'll test the functionality and tell you whether it's working fine or not. If it's working fine, then they'll accept it. If it's not working as expected, they'll reject that particular story. Then we'll have to restart it again.
All right.
Yeah, so that's how it flows in the pivotal tracker. Then during our reports, we usually talk about what you want, what you did, what you're planning to do, and any blocker. Now, if there's a story that's blocking your story from being finished, you can add it here on the blockers. Or someone. I can see block a reason, e.g. a story or someone. So let's say it's Getty blocking us. I'll mention that, yeah. So she will be the blocker to this particular story. Or if it's a story, then I can copy the story ID right here. If this is the story I'm waiting for, I can copy this story ID and paste it here. Now watch what happens. This is the story that is blocking this particular story. Now, if you hover on this, then it will give you details of the story that is blocking it. Okay. I guess I should delete that because we don't need it. The descriptions, it describes exactly what the story is about.
Okay.
Then the activity contains comments. What are the discussions about that particular story?
The description is usually made when I create the story, right?
Yes, the decision is usually when you create the story. So this is a perfect example right here. Site admin approving events. So this description is, as a site admin, this is usually the format, as a site admin. Is it 1 star or 2? I'm not sure. It should be 2. Make it bold. As a, yes, like that. As a site admin, so you say the role. Okay, so right here you should have the role, which is a site admin in our case. Okay, so that reason, what drives you to do this particular story? The ridiculous spam doesn't get through. Okay, so as a site admin, so that then we have a reason, which is we normally have so many ridiculous spam emails coming through. So as a site admin, so that I avoid this, I want to approve events. Okay. So this is the action that you take. I want to do this. This is usually the general format of a user story. Let me just remove the role. Yep. So that's the general format of a story, which if it's a new feature. Yeah. Can just update these. The labels, this is a story for another day. Tasks is if, just in case, you have different tasks that will enable you to finish these. You can write them down and tick them one by one as you do them. That's for the tasks.
Oh.
Activity is the activity is actually the comments for that story. Like you can see, this is Sam. He was talking to Sess. Okay, so he's telling Sess that the client is asking for this feature to be put on hold for the moment.
All right.
All right. Then Sess says that, yeah, I've noted. Now this story has been put on hold. No one is supposed to be doing this. All right. I guess that's it. Unless you have any question or any other person who's still listening in.
No, but for the refactor hash, I don't need to do all those edit, like all those double stars, all those.
Yeah. The descriptions, no, you don't really need to do that. For the refactor and the chores, as long as it's descriptive enough. Now we faced a challenge on that. Where's that? There was a story that you were looking at before. Class 2. Where was the story talking about being too long? Let me search. Too long. Yes, here it is. Was it this? No. I can search for who created that story. I can't remember that particular story, but it didn't have a description, so it was hard for someone to understand exactly what was needed. So it's usually good to explain exactly what's needed, like this. So there's a refactor here, break cucumber step into 2.
All right.
The description actually describes exactly what you're supposed to do, because if someone tells you to break the cucumber test into 2, first of all, you don't know which step you're breaking into 2. You don't know exactly what they want. So that's what comes here. So you can use this instance variable, then do, and something like this. Now, this is not really understandable, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So this is an example of a story that is not that well documented, described, I mean. Because if you want to start working on this particular story, you might want to ask Brent what he really meant. I think this was started by, no, it was Sam, owned by Brent. So we might have to ask him more details about this particular story, because so far it really doesn't make sense. We don't know which file we're trying to edit.
All right.
Yeah. So just make your description as good as possible, so if anyone comes to pick up the story, they know exactly what they're supposed to be doing.
All right. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So down here you can ask at turn circle. Give more details on the steps to be refactored. Which files affected? Which files or steps? Then that's how you create an activity. So he will be notified and he can now reply to this. Okay. I think that's a nice overview of the pivotal tracker. So every time you pick on a story and you start working on it, don't forget to start it so that other people don't start working on it. Okay.
All right.
All right. So any other question?
Oh, no. Thanks.
Okay. You're welcome. So have a nice time trying to work on the other one, on the issue that you just picked. Open a pull request and let me know. Okay.
I've done that already. All right.
Oh, you've done that already. Okay, let me do a review of it, and we should try as much as possible to follow the contributing guide for the small pull requests. Okay.
All right.
All right. Okay. Talk to you later. Okay. Bye, guys. Bye, Musa. Bye, okay.